feel like 1,000 needles in your body, you cannot really walk. I had to be on the wheelchair.
But I experienced it with my wife. She's expressing all her pain to me. My pillar of support is always my wife. Everything came crumbling down when my wife was diagnosed.
How did you manage that? Welcome back to Radical Perspectives. Today we are collaborating with Ain Society, a community-based organisation that provides financial and psychosocial support for individuals who have been diagnosed with cancer. Today with us we have Ali and Sri. Right, they have given us permission to mention their ages. They are 61 and 24 respectively. They've been very courageous in their journey and very open to come on to share about their experiences before and after diagnosis. We are very honoured and very privileged to have them in the studio today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah.
Is it your first time on the podcast?
Yes.
First time? Oh, okay. I will do some justice here. Okay, so today we'll just cover, life before. We just talk about their journey and just some lessons. We keep it simple today. Yeah. Okay, maybe we begin with Ali first.
Okay.
Right? Before, just talk about your family. Talk about life in general.
Okay. Married. I have 3 stepchildren, and I have lots of grandchildren.
Okay. How many, if I may ask?
I have 14 grandchildren.
14?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So my the eldest boy has the most luck.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess and they are all married. They are on their own. They have their own life to live lah. So
Okay.
I guess So me and my wife, we have 2 grandchildren that we take care.
Yeah.
One is already 23. One is 16. So we have been looking after them since young, since baby.
Okay.
So I guess we are these 4 of us lah. We've been together. We have 5, but then the other one was taken back by the mother. So we let her go and let the mother take care of her. So we have these 2 with us until now.
Second question, what have you learned about family in this process? Since you're such a large family.
Oh, a lot of things.
The most major one. It's not the focus of the podcast, but I thought I would.
Well, I don't know. I've always liked a lot of family. My family, we grew up. Myself, I've got 4 brothers. 3 brothers and 2 sisters,
Okay.
excluding me lah. So it's 6 of us, and we always like to have big family. And when I married my wife, got with 3 children, and it grew, and we always like to have these family things together. And we always like to invite all the close family.
Yeah.
I personally, me and my wife, we like to have gatherings.
Okay.
We used to have a lot of gatherings.
Just like a kampung spirit that's kind of lost. It's kind of lost nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Everything is so cynical. Everything's so transactional. Right? We're jealous of each other's success. We can't be happy for each other.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess jealousy works everywhere, lah. Jealousy is everywhere, but it's how the family.
Yeah, because I'm fascinated. Some people they cannot stay in like 3-4. They cannot stay already, right? Because they fight. So I'm just wondering how it must be someone of great character and great love for you to be able to accommodate everybody like that.
Well, you see, my mom is a single mother who raised us up. The family, 6 of us, and all of us are very closely knitted. We fight, we that one, but at the end of the day, still together. There's like one for all and all for one.
Okay.
That kind of things. We know. We may fight as brother and sister, but along the way we know when they need help. Whoever needs something, we are there. We never leave. So that kind of spirit was instilled in us by my mother.
Amazing.
So
Okay.
So I guess that's how it works.
Sure. Right. Thanks for listening patiently, by the way, Shin. We'll give you equal airtime. Okay, so don't worry about it. And I'll do the podcast also, so not to worry. Just speak. Don't worry about speaking too long, whatever. You just share, okay? Let me manage that, and I can post edit as well. Okay. Thank you. for sharing. Yeah. On to you. Yeah, and you're a student now.
Yeah, I'm a full-time student
yeah.
at SUSS.
Okay,
Currently on my 4th year, like my
Okay.
final year.
got you. And before that, what was your personality like? What do you like to do, enjoy doing, your philosophy in life?
I like to go out.
Okay.
Like, how do I put this? I like to go cafe hopping
Oh,
back then.
okay.
I think I like to go on a quest to find like the best coffee or the best pastry in Singapore.
Okay.
Because like I want to see if there are options other than Haji Lin.
Ah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was back then before, everything happened.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it affected a little bit of your activities, which
Yes.
we'll go into that. But you found joy in just exploring new places yourself, or?
Yeah. I also like exploring different parks in Singapore.
Parks?
Mm.
Okay.
I think the one I liked the most was the newly upgraded Lake Park. Was it Lake Garden? Yeah, that park. It was nice and very spacious, and it didn't feel like Singapore because Singapore is too city-like for me, and I really enjoy the nature a lot. Yeah.
Okay. What is, pardon me, what is your favorite park? Do you have one, or all of them are equally special?
I think the best one for me has got to be Sembawang Park.
Sembawang Park.
Yeah, the one near like the real estate houses.
And this is near where the podcast studio is as well. Maybe we'll go and take a look later.
It's near to where I live also.
Okay.
So whenever I'm free, I'll just take the bus and go
Okay.
there at night because it's more peaceful at night.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the boats coming in, or you can see the other side of Singapore. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can sense your affection for it through your tonality. I think
Yeah.
people don't realize our natural spaces hold a lot of peace and power. We are very caught up in urban life. Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing. I guess I could transition into when you first had the diagnosis. Maybe you could share about how it happened. Right. Maybe were there any symptoms leading up to that? Were there any warning signs? We start with Ali.
Well, for me, it came out of a blue. I have my chronic disease, which is a gout, high blood, diabetes. So I'm going for my checkup, and I guess one day the doctor, my renal doctor, just tell me, "Hey, I want you to go for a ultrasound to check on my kidney." So I went for the ultrasound. They did the check, and it was longer than what it usually is lah.
Yeah.
But I didn't think of anything, and then the radiologist told me, go back to your doctor. Your doctor will give you the result. So when I went back, apparently the doctor says I have two results. One is good, one is not so good. He didn't say bad, he said not so good.
Okay.
I said I listened to the good one. I said, it's okay, your kidney is okay for now. Bad thing is that while they are doing the scanning, the ultrasound, they found a black spot at my liver. So I was like, how come kidney goes to my liver? I was asking doctor. He says, then he explains to me that part of the liver at the end is near to the right kidney. So that's how he explains to me, and he says, he has to refer me to the liver doctor. So that's where it starts. There were no symptoms. I was asked by every doctor, is there symptoms, there loss of appetite? I said, no, I do not feel anything.
Okay.
I do not feel anything. It's just that I went for the ultrasound, and it comes out and shows there's a black spot there.
Okay.
So I guess that was the start of it.
Okay. And that's not uncommon either. That's not uncommon, right?
Correct,
There are
yeah.
people who are out of the blue.
Correct.
There have been some that also have certain symptoms that they didn't
Correct.
check on from my experiences speaking to people
Yes.
who have been diagnosed. So I just don't want to misrepresent any information
Yeah.
here, right? Yeah, okay.
So I guess from there on, then when the primary doctor took over for my liver, I guess then we went for a few tests, and he told me that there are symptoms of cancer. They may not be or may be, but it seems that it shows towards that, so they want to do further tests, you know. But me being
Yeah.
thinking that it's nothing, I said okay, because that period when they were doing the testing, it was towards the fasting month
Okay.
for the year, and so I was like, oh no, I don't want to do anything
Yep.
until after Hari Raya. So okay, they said they wait for me. But in the meantime, I think the thing was growing. So after that, when I came, they did tests and all that. They confirmed. They did the biopsy and all that. They confirmed, the doctor confirmed that yes, but they do not know what kind of cancer it is. So they started off with this cancer called angiosarcoma, which is related to liver. So which is a very aggressive cancer, I was told by the doctor. And so I was asking what is the treatment, and they said no, we have to do an operation to remove it. So I said, what's going to happen to my liver? That's where the doctor explains that okay, liver is where when you cut off, it will grow back. So okay, so then that's where we proceed with the operation to remove that portion.
Walk us through the first immediate thoughts and feelings when you first was diagnosed.
Like I say you can't digest it. The first time you feel that why is it true? Is it me? Why that thought, I think everyone has.
Sure.
So when the first time he told me, I was alone. Nobody, not even my wife was with me. But the second time when I came, when they already got the biopsy result and all that, that's where my wife came, and that's where he says yes, it's confirmed cancer. But what kind of cancer, they do not know, but they started with angiosarcoma. So I guess that's where it started to come in. And I still have my doubts, about that. But of course, my wife started feeling down and all that. So I guess, that starts to sink in slowly. Slowly it starts to sink in.
Okay.
And I think that somehow slowly changed my mindset.
We'll come back to that for sure. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Sri, what about you?
I was, I think, nearing my 3rd month of internship. I had 3 months to go. So on my 3rd month, like the entire month, I found myself having this very on and off high fever. And then I didn't think anything much of it. I was like, it might be like the flu season and stuff like that. And actually, I was coughing since January. It was quite bad. But everyone else in the office was coughing as well. So, of course, I didn't think much of it, right? And then, because I don't know why, whenever I have a fever, I don't feel weak. So, I still went to work without knowing I had a fever. But every week, I would just go to the clinic again and again because my cough wasn't getting better. And then the doctor was like, wait, you have been having a fever for like almost 4 weeks now, and it's a bit scary. Why don't you go check it out in the hospital? And when I heard about it, I'm like, what? Fever for like 4 weeks? That's impossible. So I went to the hospital by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah. I told my manager back then that I really wanted to check this out because it was getting a bit concerning.
Yeah.
And then I think she did a lot when I first got admitted because my fever was quite high. They were quite worried. I did an X-ray first for my cough because they wanted to see my lungs, right? And then at the X-ray they saw like this mass near my lungs. I think it was here at the right side. So they were like, of course it's concerning. What is this like mass at the upper chest, right?
Yep.
So then I waited for a few more days. Then they sent me for a CT scan. In the CT scan it showed like not only one mass but 4 masses. And then they didn't know what it was actually. They had 2 theories. They had 2
hypotheses.
Yes, correct. One of it is tuberculosis. The other one is lymphoma, which is the cancer. When the doctor came to me, the first thing she said was, it might be tuberculosis and it's not that bad. You can still heal from it. The other one is a bit worse. It might be lymphoma, which is a type of cancer. And when I heard that, it was like 8 a.m. I was alone in the ward. I was like crying on my own. Huh? Cancer? Like why? I'm just 22 at that time. I was just 22 and I thought I lived quite a healthy life. Yeah.
You used to exercise as well?
Yeah, like 3 times a week. And I drank a lot of water. I don't eat like fatty foods, fast food, all that. No, I didn't indulge in that.
Yep.
So I was so confused, like why? And then because back then the hospital that I went to did not have the proper facilities to take care of me, and they were worried that I might like fall into respiratory arrest anytime soon because it was like kind of blocking my airways. And so they sent me to a different hospital which had all the facilities, and I was in the ICU actually for like almost a week while they get that specimen because they did a biopsy on me.
Yes.
So they checked it out to see what kind of cancer it was. Yeah, it turned out to be Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a type of cancer affecting the lymph nodes, but the doctor did not explain like if it was aggressive or not. She just didn't want me to think about it. She just told me, just go through chemotherapy 6 months and you'll be fine, I assure you. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to think about it and just go through with it. Yeah, but she told me that alone in the new hospital, right? I was alone again. And then at night, then my mom came. And then I couldn't show my mom that I was sad. Of course, anyone who hears that they have been diagnosed with cancer, they'll be a bit distraught. But in front of my mom, I couldn't do that because she's a very weak person. As in, when she hears that any one of her children is sick, she'll get very sad and she cannot handle it properly or process it. So she was crying.
Got it.
Yeah, I held her hand and she was crying. But in my heart, I also wanted to cry because I was worried for myself. Yeah.
So even in your shock and your pain, you prioritize your mom's feelings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's making me emotional right now.
And thinking about it makes me emotional also. Because I don't know how I was able to hold on. Because I'm also someone that is very emotional. So, but then I try not to show that side of myself to her. Because it might make her feel more sad. And she already has a history of like illnesses. So I didn't want to make it worse for her.
Got it. Progressing on, once the initial phase hit, you obviously have to deal with it with treatments, with psychological support, right? With spiritual support. Can you walk us through that process? Maybe we start with Ali first.
Like I say, the diagnosis was a bit, it was shocking. But then I think the doctor gave me the assurance that I was asking what is the next course of it, and is it going to be chemo, is it going to be radiation, or is it not? We are going straight in, cut it off, remove the thing, and see where it goes lah. Because it's straight blade forward, go in, cut the thing, remove the tumor itself, and recovery lah. So I guess like I say, my pillar of support is always my wife, who when I was diagnosed, she was like by my side, every day. So we went through everything together. Children, my children were informed, but I guess they also have their own lives. We interact. My side of family, my brother, my sister. Well, I kept it from my mom initially because we don't want to give her. She's already 80 plus, at that time, so we don't want to alarm her, So we just kept it among ourselves. And on the day when I was going for my surgery, then only she was told of it,
Okay.
So
How did your family react to that?
I mean, when you mention cancer, everyone reacts differently, right?
Yeah.
But given the assurance by the doctor explaining how is it, so I think we take it positively,
Okay.
We look forward. We just see whatever we can do, spiritually. They are helping me, and then emotionally, all these things. So I guess I get through that, that operation quite well.
Okay. And yeah, okay. I think I'll come back to you in a while. Thank you. Yeah, I'll come back to you in a while. What about yourself? What was the course that you took after?
So after I was diagnosed,
Yeah.
I was on chemotherapy for 6 to 7 months. I think it's the basic medication according to the doctor. It was 6 cycles, but 2 times, like split into two.
Yeah.
So it was like I had to do it 12 times. I remember halfway when I first the chemotherapy medicine first entered my body, right? It felt weird. I felt like I wanted to puke. I didn't feel like myself. Like my head was spinning. But after a while it got better. Like after my 3rd cycle, I got used to it. And actually on my way to my 4th cycle, doctors found out that I was actually allergic to it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it caused me to have like, if I'm not wrong, like my lungs were damaged. My lungs were damaged from it. So I had to stop chemotherapy for about a month or 2 to let it heal. I took steroid pills to let it recover quickly. And once it was back to normal, I was back on it again, on chemotherapy.
It's another gentleman that I've interviewed before and raised funds for. His name's Akbar, and he talked about the process of chemotherapy, and he said it with a lot of pain in his eyes. And he said that it completely, he shook his head. He said, I cannot describe it. I cannot describe the feeling of waking up feeling completely like weak. Was that the same in some manner for you as well?
Yeah. If I were to describe it right, it would feel like maybe 1,000 needles poking your body. Like you cannot feel your blood flow. You cannot really walk. I had to be on the wheelchair like halfway through my treatment because I was just very weak. After 5 minutes of walking, I'll be like very tired. Most of the time I was on the bed, and it felt frustrating because I like to go out and look at the nature, right? But no, I can't even like take one step out of my room. Yeah.
Shucks. Yeah, I cannot fully empathize because that just sounds horrible. But you are a strong lady. You're a strong lady, I'm sure. How did you manage that? Spiritually, through prayer, through family support? Because you were thrown so quickly into this situation.
Yeah, it was of course not easy to accept, right? But I think I've learned like maybe like 2 months into my treatment, I've learned to let go of these like why me kind of feelings and try to accept that okay, this is my life now and it will be my life in the future. And it was possible through prayer actually. I found myself like meditating more and also praying more. Even though I can't stand up, I'll be praying sitting down. And I think that connection with God helped me to build up my strength mentally. Other than that, I have like a strong social support at home, which is my family members. When I was first diagnosed, my brother actually he asked his office whether he could work from home, so he could take care of me for the first 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and to make sure I wasn't lonely. Other than that, I have like my cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because eventually Ain Society came in as well. We'll talk at length about that. Okay. Focus on your family first. How did they expressly tell you that did they shed tears with you? How was that process for them also? Or did they have to stay strong like how you stayed strong for your mom? And also, sorry to ask many questions, eventually you had to tell your mom. Right? How was that? Also, could you share a bit more about that? Yeah.
Well, at first, like my mom already knew, I think, because The doctor told her, but I was beside her. But I didn't tell her that I was feeling upset about it. Like I couldn't accept it. And then I kept this feeling inside me for quite a while, like a month or two, until finally like one day I just called her to come to my room, and then she came and I started crying. I told her that I don't think I can do this anymore. It's very painful. And then when she heard those words, right, she started crying with me, and it's a special moment, I think. Even though it was kind of traumatic, it was still a bonding moment between my mom and myself. Other than that, my two older brothers, they always like to disturb me and tease me a lot. But once they found out that I had cancer, they did it much less. Instead of disturbing me, they showed more affection towards me, like buying me drinks that I like, or like cooking like anything that I was craving for, because I had to eat fresh food. So they would go out of their way to go to the supermarket to buy the ingredients to cook for me.
Okay. That's I don't have words to express how touching that feels to me. Very blessed to have a family like that. What about Ali? In terms of so for Ali, I think in the pre-interview you talked a bit about mortality. Talk a bit about thinking about that as well. Could you walk us through the thoughts and how you dealt with knowing that cancer is deadly in that sense?
Well, I think after diagnosis and after my surgery, the mindset changed, whereby I start to start to think about what's going to happen. Well, the death thought is already, there, because you never know, because as far as we know, cancer is a disease that is unpredictable. You can be well, you can come back, and it's going to that one. And the worst part for me is that it came back every year, relapse every year for the next 2 years. After the first operation, first year, relapse, came back again, same place. It kind of like, oh, okay. And we deal with that. They did, and of course they can't operate on the liver. They did ablation, they burned the thing, and it was okay. Again, after a year, it relapsed again. It came back at a different spot. You see? So that's why the doctor tells me your cancer is, and I read about it. It's a very rare. It's a blood lining. It's got to do with the blood, blood linings and all that. So it may move around. So instead of liver, it came to the groin area, pubic. There's a pubic bone there. So I guess, in perspective, after the first operation, the mindset change, to where you start making plans, start talking to my wife and say that, look, something were to happen, then, I already laid out everything that, what she can do, what is there for her, I've already. And then when the relapse happened, so we talked, we didn't, we did more kind of thinking, that, okay, I did more, I think we bonded more closer. I think we became more closer that, to the extent that even when I go out to work, she will be calling me every hour or so, asking, where are you? Okay, have you eaten? Are you okay? You're not feeling well, you can come back home, and all that kind of thing, I guess you start planning. Like I say, for me, I start thinking is what's going to happen life after without me, for her, and the children and all that, So we discussed that more a lot.
Was it tough, that process? I can't imagine myself thinking about that.
Well, it was tough for her, I think. I would say both of us are feeling tough on it. But then, Well, in the religion that I practice, Islam, we are told that there's life, there's death. So I guess that kind of sets in more, when I was diagnosed with it, So
Okay.
we start thinking more on that, So I guess
There is that realization. In a sense,
Yes.
all of us are mortal, right?
correct.
That we really know that. We know that logically.
Logically.
We know we have seen.
Correct.
Yeah, but when it hits or when there's an immediate situation that warrants thinking about it, it hits differently.
It hits you.
It hits very differently.
Yeah, when it hits you, then
Yeah.
you will start thinking of differently already.
Yeah.
When you have someone, friends or someone who's close that has cancer
Yeah.
and passed away. I have before I was diagnosed, I had friends
Yeah.
who died of cancer.
Yeah.
Same age as me. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
And then when it hits me,
Yeah, it's
so
different.
I
yeah,
guess
understand.
I kind of understand what the family may be going through,
Yeah.
So I guess it hits you lah, when it hits you, then you
Got it.
start thinking about it.
I think it's important to discuss this, but equally important also is to discuss life, right? And now we want to discuss life because this is what it's about, right? It's about both of you are sitting here today because you have gone through the journey, you have fought courageously, you've lived life to the fullest on your own terms, given this new reality. So we want to talk about that, how you got to that, your mindset, and some of the inspirations and the support that you got to get there, right? So we'll start with Sri first again, share about how you, just your mindset and how you came to that. I would say move on, but courageously move forward.
Okay, I think I will talk about how I felt before, then how I moved towards it. So firstly, I was a bit scared, because like Ali said just now, you don't think about death until you're faced with that situation. And then, especially for myself, at the age of 22, you won't think that, I'm going to possibly die of cancer this year. Like, you won't think about that statement. But when I was diagnosed, I started thinking about all of that, right? And then, after that, I just came to the realization that, anyone can go at any moment. Even I can, at that time, go at any moment if
Things get worse.
yes.
Yeah.
So I just thought I have to just accept that this is my life, and then move on and live it fully. So it was not an easy process. I think it took a lot of journaling. Yeah, a lot of journaling and a lot of reflection by myself on the bed. But after I think about 1 month of like self processing, it became easier to accept that okay, if it happens, it happens. If it relapses again, then just let it be. I beat it once, or I'm currently trying to beat it, then there's no saying that I can't do it again. And then because of that, like I tried to look towards the positive moments in life, like I tried to appreciate the little things. Like when I open my eyes, I can still see the sun, so that's something to look forward to. Or like hearing my mom get angry at the kitchen,
Okay.
like even though like usually you think of it as annoying,
Yeah.
but it's moments like this you start to appreciate, like, I'm still alive, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Life becomes more sacred to you
Yes,
in that way.
every moment.
Right. What about yourself?
Well, I guess mine wasn't easy. I was going through it. I was like, okay, I had the support, but then something turned out. My family member, my sister, was diagnosed also with cancer, breast cancer, and we shift our focus a bit on her, So I guess focus on her, and everything was okay. She was going through the treatment. She had a very good treatment, and everything works out well. And then everything came crumbling down when my wife was diagnosed. Each time I speak about that, I
Please, sir.
it not only affect me, it affect the whole family.
So take your time, okay? Take your time.
Yeah, so see, my wife, she's the eldest in her family. I'm the youngest in my family. So in her family, everyone looks to her for support, for emotional support, and she's being the big sister. She is there for every one of her siblings, you know. And on my side, she was very close. She's quite close with my mom, you know. My sister, you know, one with cancer and all that. So when she was diagnosed, I think everybody was like feeling down. You know, everyone was like, why, you know? And yeah, you know, for me, everything, whatever we plan is thrown out of the window already. So I guess we have to start over again, you know, with her. And that's where I have to stop my treatment also. I had the relapse the third time, the fourth time. The fourth relapse I have, I actually went up to my doctor and said, look, he knows my wife because my wife has been with me every time. So I said, my wife is diagnosed with this cancer, lymphoma, and she's going through this. She said, okay, we'll wait. When you are ready, let me know, we will continue. So I concentrate on that. Yeah, I guess everything turned out differently, you know, turned out differently with her passing, you know, and then I tried to yeah, the support is there from my family, from her side, you know, her family. They, although she's no more, but they are still in touch with me, still keep close contact with me, you know. So I guess that kinds of help a bit with my grandchildren around, you know. So I guess trying to go up, and then my sister passed on, you know. So I guess that two things, I would say now, even now, I'm still trying to get over it, you know. Still trying, still thinking about it. Yeah, still have that memories that, you know, happen, you know. So now it's more of a thing like I think try to get back to where I was when I had her around, you know.
Your wife passed away.
Your
sister passed.
My wife passed away first.
This year.
Last year. She had her cancer for 8 months, and then she passed on. My sister had a relapse. Relapse was worse than the original cancer,
okay.
And she passed on this year in the early in I think in April, in the early late March or April.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah.
Did you share about that?
Huh?
Did you share about it earlier, or you just touched on it, right? I don't think I asked you about that.
I shared about my wife, because she was very close, and my sister. Well, I guess after my wife, we were concentrating on my sister. You know, we were looking after her because she was actually given only the second relapse. She was only given about 6 months to live. You know, so
This is heavy because we spoke about your journey, obviously, but they have their individual journeys.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I'm tempted to kind of pivot and talk a little bit about that because I don't want to stray, but I don't want to stray away too far from this podcast.
Yeah.
But just maybe briefly, because you sort of got emotional earlier, right? When you recalled the time when your wife got diagnosed. But I noticed that when you mentioned that your wife passed, there wasn't. I didn't. Was it? It must have been even more devastating at that point.
It is. You see, I concentrated on her being, she was there for me for 3 years, 4 years, Suddenly it switched,
Yeah.
So I have to be there for her because she was facing a lot, and in that experience, it gives me a lot of understanding
Of how she,
on cancer itself, on what do you call it, radiation, what is that, what's that here? Chemotherapy. You see, and I understand the pain, so when Sri was talking about the pain of going through the chemotherapy, I experienced it, but I experienced it with my wife. She's expressing all her pain to me, and I've seen it daily, how she goes through, from being a able lady, moving around, doing things, to being wheelchair, to being on the bed, and can't do anything, to the extent whereby she actually told my daughter, said, look, can you bring the electric cooker? I want to put in front, because we got her a bed, a hospital bed.
Yeah.
So she said, I'm bored. Maybe I can sit down, I can cook something. To the extent, that she got so restricted.
Yeah, got you.
So I guess that is something that I really kind of took everything all. It beats the day I got to know the cancer myself. It beats that day. When she left. I guess.
Was there any last messages, words that you exchanged?
The last actual conversation I had with her was the night before she was admitted to ICU. That we had a conversation. My daily routine is I will come and visit her in the evening. Then I'll call her. You want to eat anything? Because sometimes she would eat the food, so I'll buy something she wants. I'll buy and bring it. So that particular day, I bought something for her, and she said, "No, I don't feel like eating." She said, "You eat it." I said, "Okay." So we had a conversation, and then she was feeling tired. So she said, "Okay, I want to sleep." I said, "Okay, if you want to sleep, I'll go off." That was our conversation. And then I received a call from her at 3 a.m. and she says, "Oh, the doctor is sending me to ICU." So I said, "What happened?" She said, "Oh, my breathing got problem." So I said, "Okay, I'll speak to your doctor." So I had conversation with a doctor, and then so I told the doctor, "Yes, I'm coming there. I want to speak to her." But that was the last thing, because the morning that I went to see her, actually at that day itself, I went there. They already hook her up into the oxygen tube and all that. But she was conscious.
Yeah.
She cannot talk. She was conscious. She can actually know. She can direct me, what is this, what is that, with her gesture and all that. Yeah, I guess that was it. Yeah, that was she was conscious for about 3 days. I guess we managed to gather the grandchildren to see her. And on the 4th day, I think she was already into, she couldn't open her eyes, but when we speak, she could hear, because there were tears rolling out from her eyes, Yeah, so I guess that was a big decision for me to make also, Consulted the doctor. The doctor says that, look, it's not as good as what you are seeing, you know, because her blood count, her blood pressure, not pressure, her blood circulation is going down, and they are actually giving her medication to keep her blood pumping, you know. So I said, then I have to make the decision, you know. I spoke with everyone. So I guess on the 7th day, we make the decision to stop. She wasn't living on the ventilator, but she was living on the medication that was given to her blood. So I told the doctor, well, let's see how it goes. So the doctor says, okay, the only recommendation I can give you is that we stop giving her and let's see how her heart beats. If her heart is still beating, that means she is on her own. But unfortunately, I guess it stopped the minute the medication stopped. We have to let her go. I mean, we don't want to see her like that, you know. Although it's very heartbreaking to see that, you know, for her to go. But yeah, I guess it's very hard to let her go.
Yeah. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. I would never understand or empathize with
that
pain.
That lesson, I think with her, I've learned, gone through all how I start understanding. I do not go through. I guess I'm blessed in a way. My cancer is very rare. You know, it's 1% in the world. You know, whole world, only 1% of the population has it. So very rare. You know, even the doctor tell me you are a special one. You know, so you know, but I don't have to go through chemotherapy. I don't have to go through radiation. You know, that's what the doctor tells me. And when my wife go through, I can somehow feel it. You know, what radiation do to you, what chemotherapy does to you. You know, so that was my wife. You know, and then when she passed on, the next person was my sister, and I was there because I helped her, send her to the center for chemo.
Yeah.
And you can see, you know, that how the thing deteriorate, you know, with chemotherapy, you know, it can actually deteriorate. And I guess even my sister also, when she passed on, she was put in the ICU. She was taken off the ICU. She was conscious and put into a high dependency. She was still communicating. One day before she actually passed away, we were still talking to her. She opened her eyes, closed. But on that day itself, we would say that she wanted us all to be there. The whole family, everyone was there. Even my sister who lives in Germany was in Singapore, whole family. So I guess that moment was for her. To us, we believe that everyone was there for her to bid her farewell, you know. And she left us.
Okay. It was very heavy.
It was to experience two deaths in a family in the space of 1 year. You know, I guess it's a bit. It's tough. And both is the same thing.
Yeah, I know. You're going through it yourself as well, you know. That's the third. Let's come to terms with it, and we talk about support, we talk about coming to terms, we talk about acceptance, faith. How did Ain Society help both of you with that? Let's start with Sri first.
Okay, so for me, I think towards May, I started feeling very lonely because even though like my mom and my brothers, my stepfather and my father, they were all there for me, but they still couldn't understand fully what I was going through. So even if I was letting out my feelings to them, all they told me to like, hold on, you can do this, but I just felt like I wasn't really understood properly. So that's why I went to search for like support groups, and my mom recommended Ain Society. Then when I first met them, I told them that I want to meet people like me, so that I know what they went through, and
Yeah.
it gives me a bit more, makes me a bit more resilient. Then,
Pardon me, I pause you for a while, okay? I want to go back. Sorry, I mentally switched out because of the heaviness, but I want to go back a little bit about, you mentioned you're feeling lonely, right? Can you describe a little bit more about, yes, you were surrounded by friends, yes, they knew you had diagnosis. Why do you still feel lonely? Is it because they couldn't empathize or because their interests came first?
I felt lonely mainly because I think I was the only one going through it. So, like, yes, they were very kind, empathetic. They helped me. They cooked fresh food for me. When I wanted to go out, they pushed me in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, they did all those acts of services for me. Even then, I still felt alone in that journey, because they don't understand what I was going through. Even if I were to describe to them like the 1,000 needles poking my body,
Yeah.
they don't know how to react to that.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
logical.
So that's why I wanted to search for people who went through the same thing or similar thing as me, so that I can connect with them, which is why I contacted Ain Society.
And sometimes it's also not other people's fault. Right? Maybe just bringing my own experience in is nothing compared to both of you, but I've gone through depression before, and you feel lonely. You feel desperately alone because everyone has to move on with their lives. Your friends have studies to do, exams to take care of. The reality of life, cruelly and also beautifully, depending on how you want to look at it, is that people are concerned about themselves, and they are not thinking about you all the time. I could be on the verge of death, and I was on the verge of death, right, writing my suicidal notes, and my friends just had to move on with their lives. They were not there, and I cannot expect them to be, because life moves so fast, and it feels like life is moving on without you. And so I think going to people that going through a similar experience as with you, slow down life back again, and also help you to sit with that, with them. So talk to us about that journey.
So yeah, I first contacted Ain Society, right? And I told back then I told Kak Shima, I told her that I really want to meet people like me, youths like me, because like I want to be able to connect and understand how they feel, and maybe I won't feel so lonely in this journey. And then she brought me to meet like 2 other youths, and they were youths that went through cancer at a very young age, like 13 or 12, I think. But they are all adults now, and when I met them, it felt like I knew them my entire life.
Okay.
Yeah, they had so much empathy for me, and the way they talked to me is as if they understood everything I went through. And at that moment, I felt like, wait, if I actually went through this and I'm successful at beating cancer, right, I could be like them, living life happily. And I think their positive outlook and their resilience that they displayed to me made me want to do better for myself, made me want to overcome this adversity. And I think that played a very big role in like overcoming it. Yeah, when I went to Ain Society, it was not only for like to meet people like me, but also there were certain things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do on my own.
Yeah.
So, for example, like sometimes I want to attend like mental health talks, but it wasn't easy to go on my own, and I don't know where I can find access to these talks other than YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But Ain Society, they brought like professionals who specialize in mental health, and it was an eye opener for me, like to know the different types of breathing I can do to like ground myself back. And not only that, they also had like different celebrations. And just made me feel like I'm around people like me. I feel very happy and feel like much more supported than like my family. Yeah, of course they support me, but it was just an additional like number of people that supported me. Yeah.
I'm so glad hearing that from you. It feels like you lighted up. There's hope in your eyes. You're living life with courage, like I said. And you also gave a speech at a symposium.
Yes,
right?
indeed, yeah.
I'm proud of you, even though I just met you but I can imagine that your speech would have inspired a lot of people because now you're sharing with me, right? So I presume that your essence will be the same when you're sharing with other people. You know?
Yeah. I think at the AYO symposium event, right, I was quite bubbly. Like even though I just recovered, right, I was so positive that people don't like they went up to me after I was done my speech like, oh, you look so happy and healthy, like I wouldn't think that you went through it. And then even like family members, like people who had family members who were affected by cancer, they went up to me crying like, I don't know what to do with for my brother who's going through cancer, what can I do? And then I just felt so happy to be able to help them or maybe inspire these caretakers on what they can do to help their family
Gotcha.
members affected with cancer. Yeah.
Okay. Shabir, do you mind taking me a few more videos, a bit longer, and also like some photos, candid of us talking as we're doing the podcast? Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. Give a clap for you. Definitely more to come. And I think that not right now. Maybe share a bit more. But right now, how's your situation like? Condition?
Now I'm like cancer free, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's been almost a year. I'm
Okay.
very happy. Yes. But there is like it might come back, but it doesn't matter because I know that I've gone through it once. I've beaten it once. I can surely do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's made me so glad. This like make my entire year.
Attitude.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
positive.
And you never know. I'm not a doctor, but I know that the psychological and the physiological is connected. Faith can sometimes work miracles, wonders. We never know how the body works. So I think that positivity doesn't hurt anybody.
Correct.
Grounded optimism doesn't
Right.
hurt anybody. Maybe share a bit more about how you are keeping positive moving forward, because that was very heavy. And I know it's like I said, I cannot imagine, because I was thinking about my mom when you were talking, because she's that person for us, and I just cannot imagine. I just got very emotional because I need to go back and give her a hug, because I really cannot bring myself to imagine the day, because she will eventually go. I just cannot imagine.
A
Yeah.
day without her,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That's what. Yeah, I guess. Even after what now is coming to 2 years, I do visit her grave every now and then. Bring my grandchildren there, bring myself, visit my sister and my wife together, So I guess, to me, I'm at this stage now. My cancer, so far there's no sign of it, but I do have other problems. I do have other tumors to go through now.
Okay.
So I guess cancer one side, now dealing with another part, whether it's cancerous or not, still not known yet. But this is what the stage now I am in.
Okay.
I'm dealing with another part of my body. So I guess, like I say, everything changed the mindset. So I just take it one day at a time. I don't look forward. Like I say last time, when I had cancer, I had planning with my wife all, and then I'm like, no, this planning all
Thrown out the window.
thrown out already, finished. With my wife gone now, I myself, I live day to day, because why? I have that thought of like, stopping everything.
Yeah.
That means I don't want to go for any treatment.
Yep.
Let's see what it happens. I had that thought, but thought of my 2 grandchildren with me actually
Stop.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I'm not around, because they are very close to me. They were very close to my wife. Basically, my wife handles them. When my wife passed on, I handle them. So I can't leave them just like that. So I continue with my journey of treatment and all that, thinking that I take it one day at a time. Whatever happens. If God wants to prolong my stay here, I will accept it, whatever way. you know, I do my part, and let's see where it goes.
Mm.
I don't want to go further than
Gotcha.
longer, you know.
We're winding down the podcast already. Before we end, just some lessons, I would say, insights into life that you learn from this journey. Yeah, could you just share a little bit about I mean, there's so many, but I think the most prevalent one from you in your mind in terms of insights into life that people might let me phrase it properly. Insights into life that you might, or just any insights into life. Anybody can start first, and you can bounce off each other.
Only thing is that I would say definitely it changes everything. All the perspective change.
Yeah.
All everything change. How you look at people, how you look at other patient, other cancer patient, and how you compare. Whether how you compare yourself with them, you know, and like I say, I think although I have cancer, I was given cancer, I'm blessed in a sense. I didn't go through what other with cancer, different treatment, different kind of you know, pain that they go through. You know, I think I'm blessed that I do not go through that pain, that kind of pain. Yeah, of course I get mentally fed up with all this surgery and all that, to the extent, you know, I was like, you know, can I hold on this surgery? Can you postpone a bit? You know, that kind of attitude. But then you look at it, yeah, this just like I say, I will look at my sister again, because in the last 6 months of her life, you know, she was enjoying herself. How I say enjoying, because she was going through chemotherapy, she was going through everything, you know, but she still goes out, goes and meet up with a friend for lunch, dinner. She goes for a friend wedding, she goes go everywhere. Although she have a helper to help her. But she enjoy her life, you know. So that kind of perspective comes into me and say, look, she knows, but she don't know where she's going, but she knows that whatever time she has left,
she's going to treasure it.
She just treasure it.
It's perspective and a more sanctity of life.
Yeah.
Okay.
You make full use of it. Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, I think for myself, I'd say that I think I mentioned this just now about being positive and just looking towards the positive aspect of your situation will make everything much better. So, for example, I'll just give one. It was so hard for me to go out, and I can't do anything much, right, when I was diagnosed. But at the same time, like my bond with my family members, it got so much stronger that I think we are basically inseparable now. Back then we used to fight a lot. I had a lot of arguments, but now we have come to a point where we show so much affection for each other, and we treasure each other at every single day and moment. And this capability, if you have the capability to look positively, you realize that life is actually so much more fun, even though you're going through so much challenges. Yeah. So therefore now I'm just enjoying life, even though it might come back, but you know, I'm just going to enjoy what I'm going through right now. Like for now it's school. Final year, making new friends. My friends have already graduated, but making new friends and the journey of like just trying to graduate, I think that whole process is fun. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess what she says is true in terms of family bonding, like for you know, the siblings. like myself also, I'm the youngest. My elder brothers, I mean, my sister was the one who passed away, was the eldest. So I have another four. We kind of grew closer now. We are very close in a sense whereby, I guess we call up each other, check on each other.
Yeah.
So I guess, that is something that is special also. Yeah.
We celebrate through success, but we connect through struggle. And I think that, if anything, is a benefit, I would say, or rather a positive outlook of struggle.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's end this off with a surprise segment for you. We have 10. We have 10 quick fire questions, right, on your journey with cancer, recovery, and resilience. Okay. So short answer questions. Okay. Quick answer questions, but you can elaborate a little bit. It's fine. Don't be pressured. Can't edit. Ready?
Okay.
We start with you first, and then we go. Okay. Yeah, just let me run through my questions real quick, okay? Because I think some of them I might have covered, so I might want to tweak it slightly. Okay, ready? Okay. Can you describe cancer in one word?
Scary.
Life.
Could you elaborate?
I mean, cancer, it kind of takes away your life, but at the same time, it can bring you back to life to, like, get back to what you've missed the entire life. Like, let's say you're on a rat race, you kind of miss out on, like, all the special moments in life. So yeah.
Emotions and thoughts when you were first diagnosed.
Haywire, I would say. I mean, I guess whenever cancer is mentioned, it's always associated as death sentence. So, I mean, I'm also one of those people who, moment mentioned you had cancer, is why me? What have I done? It's all these questions starts coming up, which is very common. So I guess, that's it. That's the one.
Stress.
Yeah. Describe the process and impact of chemotherapy. We can repeat what you said earlier. Yeah, because I'm cutting this into a snippet. Yeah.
Process, as in...
Okay, so you said 1,000 needles, right?
Yeah.
So just repeat that, and then you talk about how the impact it had on you in terms of the weakness, you couldn't get up and everything. Just repeat that. I think it's fine.
It felt like there was like 1,000 needles poking my body every single day. I couldn't get up. I had to use a wheelchair. Like, I can only walk for 5 minutes max.
Went through surgery, yeah?
Like I say, I was a bit lucky in the sense that I didn't go through chemo and radiation. I went through straight surgery. Surgery is a straightforward thing, but then there are other complications like infection, which I went through. After every surgery I had, or after every treatment, I had infection, but came through it lah.
A key mindset that has helped you to cope or thrive.
Resilience and having a positive outlook for myself.
Optimism. I guess, like they say lah, you can't beat them, you join them or follow them lah, and see where it leads to.
What's your biggest dream?
Biggest dream?
At the moment.
I don't know, to grow old and see my grandchildren, maybe my grandchildren's children.
Okay.
To have a farm.
A farm?
Yeah, with chickens and cows.
It's a kitten farm. I've never seen a kitten farm before, but I guess you can be the first one. What brings you the most joy?
My grandchildren. If I get to see them, even I talk to them on the phone, makes me happy. Although I have 14, but I don't meet up with all 14. I'm closer to certain few only who are regular, when they are there, who they are closer to me. Those are the ones, and then family lah. Like now my mom is still around, so I treasure.
Okay.
I want to treasure whatever moments I have with her,
My 6 cats and my fiance. Yeah.
Okay. Major life lesson you learned through this journey?
Like I say, you cannot expect everything to happen your way, and you can plan, but whatever it is, at the end of the day, the one who decides is him. So try to be more optimist instead of being pessimist. That's my outlook. I always like to think positively. When something happens, I will always say that okay, at the first thought is like, oh, why is it happening? Oh no, then I think it as okay, it may happen, but it may happen to make me guide me into another thing, So I take it that way. Now my perspective is that way. I don't look at the bad thing that happened. I look at the bad thing that happened, and the outcome could be a positive thing. Yeah.
Life is creatively predictable, but also cruelly unpredictable.
Exactly.
It is that combination of control and surrender.
Yes.
That combination of control and surrender that I think makes resilience. Yeah. But
Just go with the flow.
okay.
Yeah.
What is one thing you like people to know about cancer?
What?
What is one thing that you would like people to know about cancer?
Well, it's not as bad as what people are thinking. It's with modern technologies, you can survive. You can beat it, like how she did, and like how a lot of people that I've met in Ain Society who has beat it for many years now. So I guess accept it, deal with it, and we move on to fight it.
For myself, I would want to say that it can happen to anyone, so it's good to be mentally prepared. Like it might happen to me, rather than thinking why me, because that
Got you. I love the advice, but it's impossible for people to do that.
Yeah, of course, but
It's just simply impossible.
if it's possible, but if it's
Got
not,
it.
then
Got it.
try to just don't be too pessimistic
Got you.
about it.
Got it. Sorry to insert my unsolicited opinion there, but it's people would just only realize it when it hits.
After the event.
Yeah. But thanks for that message still. Okay, last question. Any final message to our audience?
Well, I wouldn't say I've gone through. I have cancer, but I wouldn't say that I've gone through what most people has gone through. I think they've gone through much worse. So I guess stay positive. If need, when you need support, you can get from the right support. You can look for people who can give you the right support.
Okay.
To lead you on. Sometimes you may feel down, but there are a lot of people out there who I believe will support you if you come out and see what you are going through.
Yeah. Message in general also can. Any message for audience, life, anything, doesn't need to be related to.
I forgot.
The final message for audience. Yeah. Anything, can be life philosophy, anything. Up to you.
Oh, appreciate the little things in life.
Thank you so much, Shri and Ali.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that I did justice and hosted you all to a fair degree of acceptance, I would say. Thank you for sharing your journey. It's given me a lot of insights. I'm sure the audience would agree with that as well. A lot of courage. I want to thank especially also Ain Society for arranging this. I've been working with them for a bunch of projects. They've been very warm to me, very hospitable. And if you want to check them out, obviously the link is in the description. You can volunteer with them, you can support them through donations as well. Or if anyone that you know that is struggling with cancer, you can refer to them. So
do that. I guess, yeah, they should do that.
Yeah.
Ain Society is there for everyone. I believe everyone, regardless of who you are, you know. So I guess, do contact Ain Society. I benefited when I joined. I believe my late wife was benefited. She was much more livelier, you know. Even the case officer with Ain Society noticed that in her when we went for close support session, open support session. I think good. If you are feeling down, go call Ain.
Got you. Yeah. Thank you so much once again. For everyone else, if you enjoy this podcast, do consider subscribing. It will help us to bring more guests in future. We have a TikTok, Instagram as well. You can follow it there and share this episode with people that might benefit from it. Alright, I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.